have kind of a strong disagreement to this sort of speaking, but the way you're saying it is more comfortable for me. I'm saying this so you have sort of a little bit more of a point of reference. So, because I'm into a little more of the deity work, I wouldn't consider myself a chaos magician, but a lot of other people probably would if they saw my, like, quote unquote practice, what I'm doing, or, just, like, I don't do, like, sigils and stuff too much, so that's, like, a major hallmark of chaos magic that I don't do, but, just Weibo, but, yeah, I think that the gods are like crystallized beings. I think at some point it almost doesn't really matter for us as the practitioners as much. So, like, I guess I want to tell you, yeah, like, I want to yes and you, but at the same time I want to give you some context that I don't exactly agree. Okay, you said that Kalbairov is a different phase of Lucifer. I find this both very interesting and very, like, sort of relatable. I also disagree with this. So I think the thing is, in my experience, a lot of these beings like doing more like deity work. Ooh, feeling the cosmic energies, but also I have a little bit of asthma. So the cosmic energies, like Azazel and Baphomet, there's overlap. In the sense they both use black fire, but like if I think of Azazel and I use black fire, like they're different black fires almost, but it's very subtle difference. But like doing deity work with Astaroth, right? Opened me up to Archangel. He actually recommended me to talk to Archangel Michael. He also, to some extent, he was the gateway drug into like talking to Asmodeus more, which is just slightly darker, I think. Astaroth is really in the middle. He leans towards the dark in a very structural way. Astaroth also, I had an experience with, first of all, Hecate. I had an experience with some people that took after her, and that led to me, sort of talking with her, and then she sort of led me to Sekhmet, and Sekhmet then was my gateway to different advanced forms of, especially tantric forms of Shakti, and Chinnamasa actually reached out to me, and it spiraled from there. So I think there's not such a, I think these are particular personalities. I think that they're matrix intelligences out there in space, but I think there's some of them are sort of made of the same stuff or something like that. So I wouldn't necessarily personally conflate them like that, or say that, they're different names or a deepening or a different expression. Some gods I would say that they're almost like tulpas of each other. Subordinated consciousnesses of each other. I do think that sometimes happens. But yeah. I think it's funny that you say Lucifer, that Kalbairov is a deeper form of Lucifer, because Lucifer is Shukradeva in the Vedic Puranas. Not the Vedas, but the Puranas. But Puranas are also, I would say, Vedic in a sense. They're not Vedas, but they're Vedic. Okay. So Shukradeva is considered the son of Shiva because Shiva, I think Shiva ate him, if I recall, and then basically Shukra escaped his Shiva's body. So because he came out of Shiva's body, he's considered part of the son of Shiva. So he's connected to Shiva, and Shiva, Yeah, so he's like a Shivist to some extent. I guess he also learned how to do necromancy from Shiva, and then Shiva, sort of the more, I would say Rudra. There's Rudra, and then it's almost like Shiva is the nice form, and Rudra or Kalbarav is the fierce form in a way. Uh, that gets sticky to talk about. I mean, Shiva is such a complex topic. Like there's Parashiva, or Mahashiva. There's Kalbarav. There's all these different like versions of Shiva, which I'm sure you know all of this, but yeah. So yeah. Yeah, Crossing the Abyss. I've never heard it called the Night of Pan. I'm not. See, the thing is, I'm not as familiar with like Luciferianism as uh, some kind of thing. Actually, so I would say, sorry, I would say it's connected, but I would say that like for me, I'm more interested in Luciferianism as far as like aliens and higher beings who've basically told me that, oh hey, we're on this team and it's Team Lucifer. So I don't want to sound like yeah. So that's basically what it is. Yeah. So the attainment of Shiva. That's one thing from the. What you're talking about is from the Shiva Sutras, I believe. Maybe you read it somewhere else. But yeah, attainment of Shiva. Every man, when he comes to full, self-realization, realizes he is Shiva. If you come to full realization, you'll realize you are Shiva. Something like that. Don't exactly recall, but the Shiva Sutras are so powerful, dude. One of the most powerful texts. I think the fundamental text of Kashmir Shaivism, which is, I think, sort of almost analogous to Enochian. Enochian has the 30 Aethers, and the Kashmir Shaivism has the 36 Tattvas. And then, yeah, I would say that the different gods, though, that I've actually been toying with this idea lately that, which based on what Plato said, that a god is a planet. That basically, what if these gods, they crystallize themselves in physical forms occasionally? And I've met, especially like 2 different gods who've crystallized themselves and come to talk to me. So, yeah, I believe I'm starting to toy with the idea of what if these are planets? Maybe planets we're not even really aware of sometimes, physically. There are these orbs, these, concentrated, these concentrated libraries, energetic libraries, and they connect to all of us. So us having a feeling of something is actually the planet, almost. So that's one idea I've been toying with a little bit. I don't think the ultimateness is quite us. I think with the whole Shiva Sutras thing, it's very particular, and I haven't understood it yet exactly. I think it's also a little bit. I think Kashmir Shaivism is dipping its toes a little bit into this weird, uncomfortable middle ground between Buddhism and Shaivism. That I don't think it's like sort of backwards, but it's actually more right than if it was like true. It's more useful than if it was exactly true. Yeah, Kashmir Shaivism is very, very powerful.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, man. You kind of reminded me of what Poke Runyon says in his book on Solomon's Magic, that working with goetic forms of certain archetypes, you can start to work with them in their more transcendent and deific forms. I've been practicing this for 3 years, and I've been all over the place because of my daily work. I'm my career. I'm so busy with work. I've kind of been all over the place, but I took a hiatus and I came back to, and I dove right back into Vedanta philosophy, Shaivism, and Shiva is, to me, I wasn't so much saying he's a form of Lucifer. What I meant to say was he is in the Vedic terms, and I know a lot of other Luciferians feel this way. He's similar to Lucifer. I have a complex understanding of Lucifer, but Shiva's the same way. Like you said, he has many forms, and I haven't worked so much with, you know, the Rakshasa or the demonic Goetia. I've done some of that work and I've had some negative effects because I haven't done the inner work on myself. And so right now I'm kind of going back through doing tantric work and grounding myself with hatha yoga, bhakti yoga, mantra yoga. I'm more going that route, and coming springtime and summertime, I'm going to go back into working with Klipothic and Goetic, because I believe that gate was open to me. I kind of looked in and I said, oh shit, I don't know if I'm ready for this yet. And I kind of took a step back. So yeah, you're definitely right about it. They're different, they're separate, but they kind of come together. Once you cross the abyss, it all becomes united, if that makes any sense.
Wow, you know, that's awesome. That's a lot of this stuff is pretty similar to you know, some of the things that like I'm aware of. I'm not really around any like Luciferian like community. I just basically like spirits told me. I have a meme on that I'll have to send you. Yeah, I'm not really familiar with Poke Runyon. I think I've never heard of him before actually. Yeah. Also, do you mind if I use these voice messages for